ನಮಶ್ರೀ ಯತಿರಾಜಾಯ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದ ಸೂರಯೇ ಸಚ್ಚಿತ್ಸುಖ ಸ್ವರೂಪಾಯ ಸ್ವಾಮಿನೇ ತಾಪಹಾರಿಣಿ. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸುಸ್ವಾಗತ. A very warm welcome to you all on this very auspicious occasion of thought sharing, an occasion where as human beings we evolve, and the most important evolution in life which our sages and saints over the past several thousands of years and through the exemplary avatar of Sri Ramakrishna, Sri Sharda Devi, Swami Vivekananda, and of course currently Amma, are exemplifying one very important goal for each one of us, and that is to spiritually evolve, right? And in that context, to spiritually evolve so that you can manifest the powers within, like the many exhortations of Swami Vivekananda comes out as a powerful hammer blows to our head to bring out the Shakti within us. It is in that context that this little effort, this today's program comes out. And I hope and pray that each one of you put your whole heart into hearing, understanding, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, transform yourselves and benefit from it and benefit all around you. On that note, I really, honestly, sincerely welcome you all to this program. And most importantly, I'd like to welcome Pujya Srimad Swami Atmavida Nandaji Maharaj.
Character building is always have contact with good people, get good ideas, think about it, meditate on it, and build your character. Once your character is built, you can be anywhere. And that is what we see all great people, because of their character, they have been attracted by so many people. They could contribute so many, whether it is Shivaji, Maharaja, or any other thing. And those who are only selfish, we have seen, yes, there may be big emperors and coming for this one. If they didn't have those character, a small time, just like this fly, chavkta hai for short while and goes out. But so in a classroom, one teacher was just conducting how our people. So he asked the children, do you know your grandfathers? Yes, sir, we have. They told me. Acha, you know your great-grandfathers? Not all remembered. And his grandfather? Nobody. What are you telling? It is only 3-4 generations, means about 100 years, 200 years. And you are talking about Buddha, you are talking about Christ, and so many people you are telling how you are remembering. You have forgotten these people, and you are remembering those hundreds and thousands of years earlier they were amidst us. How are you remembering? Sir, there is nothing to remember in these people. No contribution for the society. They might have had children and lived happily, and that is all. So if somebody has contributed through his character development and his personality, he will be remembered for a long time. If we are remembering Vivekananda or Buddha or others, it is because of their character. And character development is the most important, it should be the most important factor in education itself. But because of our, this one, secular, so-called secular government, they don't allow anything. You should not even hear good things. That has come to us. So we have to work very hard. We may not, because our normal educational institutions, there are still among them. You see, even if we are running a school, You are not given freedom to have your own syllabus. Syllabus is set by and now also they are fighting for some. So if good people, they put extra effort to get proper ideas, and all the students who are under them, they studied and practice good practices, then they become empowered. And once they become empowered, they can achieve anything they want.
Guidance of a guru. Those who are blessed can get guru in physical form. Two ways we can get blessed. One is the physical form. Second is the presence of guru one can feel through their teachings always. If you happen to even read one paragraph of Swamiji's teachings, your life won't be the same. Your thinking pattern will change. In Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, I remember Sri Ramakrishna telling to the devotees, ಬಂಗಾಳದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ ಬಹುಶಃ ನರಿಗಳು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇತ್ತೇನೋ ನಾಯಿ ಥರ ಇವಾಗ ರಸ್ತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಪರಮಹಂಸರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ರಾತ್ರಿ ಆದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ನರಿಗಳು ಒಂದೇ ಥರ ಕೂಗತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದೇ ಶಬ್ದದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಗತ್ತೆ ಕಣಯ್ಯ ಅಂತ. ಯಾಕೆ ಆ ಥರ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅಂದರೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಏನಿತ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ, ಆಲ್ ದ ರಿಯಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಎಕೋ ದ ಎಟರ್ನಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ ವೇದ. ಟೈಮ್ ಟು ಟೈಮ್. ಆ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿ ಅವತಾರ ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಪರಮಹಂಸರ ಅವತಾರ ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಯಾಕೆ? ಪಾಶ್ಚಾತ್ಯರ ಪ್ರಭಾವದಿಂದಾಗಿ ಯುವ ಜನತೆ ಕಂಗಾಲಾಗಿ ಹೋಗಿತ್ತು, ದಿಕ್ಕು ತಪ್ಪಿ ಹೋಗಿತ್ತು. ಈಗಿನ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಮ್ಮನ ಅವತಾರ ಬೇಕು. ಅಮ್ಮನ ವಾಣಿಯನ್ನು ನೀವು ಓದಿದ್ರು, ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯ ವಾಣಿಯನ್ನು ಓದಿದ್ರು ಯಾವುದೇ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಈಗಿನ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಪಾಶ್ಚಾತ್ಯರ ಹಾವಳಿ ಇಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿ? ಎಲ್ಲ ಮರೆತು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ ನಾವು. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲೇ ನೋಡಬಹುದು, ವೆನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಟೀಚಿಂಗ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಆನ್ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಕದ್ದು ಮುಚ್ಚಿ ಆದರೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವನು ಇಲ್ಲಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅವಳು ಅಲ್ಲಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದನೇ ಚಾಟಿಂಗ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ? ಅದು ಯಾರಾಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ empowerment of youth. Today we are attending this FTP.
So, Swami Vivekananda's holistic approach and all-comprehensive provider of solutions to various problems in our lives comes from his in-depth thinking and spiritual attitude. He did not elaborate the details of the plan because he was there for a very short time, and it's left it to us to deliberate and take a decision. So one of the things is recently is the national education policy, which states that an education system rooted in Indian ethos that contributes directly to transforming India, that is Bharat, sustainably into an equitable and vibrant knowledge society by providing high quality education to all. So these are actually something very positive, and we hope that NEP will bring a lot of good changes in the education system. So lots of changes are required at the ground level because it's in our thinking that everything comes from, and so that has to be changed. Now, among all this, health is an important aspect of every person. And most of us would have experienced some time or the other some ill health and suffered because of that. Now, uh, uh, so, uh, so let us look at not health education, but education in health, which means that how exactly can one preserve and also maintain one's health. There are hospitals which are run as corporation to make profits. Their only aim is to increase the profits and ensure that good dividends are provided to the investors. So this is the situation in respect to modern medicine in today's life. There are also serious limitations to what modern medicine can provide today, because diabetes can only be managed according to modern medicine, and BP, blood pressure also can only be managed. So you have to be rest of your life you have to take medicines, and it becomes there is no way to get out of this situation. And amongst people who are lazy, they opt for these options. And those who really want some real solution, we will actually find out what is the solution. There are other alternative medicines. There are very good systems of medicine. Great Sushruta, Charaka, as well as Vagbhata have given us Ayurveda, which is extremely valuable. And it needs to be practiced, implemented. I remember when the COVID times, when everybody was so afraid to move around, there were BBMP workers in Bangalore who had to clean all the hospital waste and other wastes in the streets. And they were afraid of catching the COVID. But Ayurveda Academy in Bangalore, they gave a simple treatment for them. One is to apply before bath, oil all over the body and wait for 10 minutes and take bath. And this and some small, churna to take inside. With this, 800 of them never got ill, never had any problem with their health, even though they were involved with the most difficult job of cleaning hospital wastes.
I have not read much about Vivekananda, but one selection from the complete works of Swami Vivekananda I had read. She used to teach. Once she had told me, feel, 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 feel from the bottom of your heart. Take up a problem. Think, think, think till your brain reels. Find a solution. Then don't wait for men, don't wait for money. Put your hands to the wheels of work. Money will come, men will come, and God's grace will come. This is a standard quote of Vivekananda, but I don't quote. I'm very proud to say, I'm very happy to say, I've experienced the truth behind those strong words of Swamiji. So this was happening morning and evening classes. 7 years I continued this. Then I could visualize an alternative school model. It should be school for children rather than children for the school. This should be the concept. And I should have freedom. I should not get recognition from the state government or ICSE government or CBSE, because I will not be having freedom. So that I determined. So in 2000, I received a surprise call from an ex-employer from Pondicherry. He called me, Anant, what are you doing? I came to know that I was settled in the village. He came to me. He saw me in that house and all this. What are you doing here, Anant? You changed your engineering job 4 times within 10 years. You are staying here since 8 years. What has happened to you? Then he told me, wherever you work from, he used to call me common sense engineer. Sometimes he used to introduce me as, chief engineer. He used to like me a lot. When he used to work, I was working in Pondicherry. As I told you, that was my third job, third or second job. He used to like me a lot. So he told me, I can help you. I can build a small workshop for you, make money, use it for personal expenditure. Then I told me, I have this concept of opening school for children, an alternative model. Good, Anand. I'll give you land. See, can somebody come actually after a gap? I had worked for him from 84 to 87. He comes in 2000. He trusts me and he said, I'll give you land. Good. I got the land also. In 2003, we bought this land in our. Can you move to the next slide? No. Correct. This is present land of 2 acre 33 guntas. Of course, when we started, nothing was there. As I told you, we had nothing, perhaps, myself and my wife. Then no buildings, no computers. Transformer was 2 kilometers away. And no beds, no carts. 4 children joined as resident scholars. 10 used to come from the neighboring villages. There were a lot of no's. But one yes. Every step I put forward, God pulled me 10 steps forward. Actually. This was the God's grace we had in plenty actually. So this gave me a lot of happiness, and I thought basic foundation should be love, care, empathy. Then only education should come. They should need a very good childhood. They should have a proper home actually. Now it has become a totally residential school. First thing, a child should get love. As I told you, the home background is like that. Father deserted, mother somewhere else, the broken families. So they need a lot of love. So in our school, the moment child, now I'm talking to the present situation, it has grown a lot actually. It has grown 100 children, residential. And it is free totally. It is free, it's not recognized by the government even now actually. Yeah, I'm telling you, we didn't want to get the government recognition.
Students should have creativity. These are all the philosophy of Vivekananda only. The student should be somewhat creative. He should be able to think some new thing, some new innovations. So nowadays you know what we call startups, innovations. All those things are there, but there are a lot of possibilities where a student can learn and do the things, where it was not there when we were studying. Now all these things have been put on. A student can take in one college, if he is studying, suppose he want to take few credits in some other college, he can go to that college and take the credit. So totally in a semester, 24 credits he has to earn. So 18 credits he can take in his college, another 6 credits he can take in some other college, where that course is not available in your college. So all the flexibility means national education policy has got the flexibility, has got what we call interdisciplinary and intradisciplinary approaches. As science students can take 1 or 2 arts courses. Art students can take some engineering courses, some courses which can be related to this. At the same time, main point is, here we have made a student can have exit and also multiple entry and multiple exit. Suppose after first year, student don't want to continue the education, he can leave. We will give what we call a certificate course. For that, the designing of the syllabus was very challenging. Suppose a computer science student joined, just because it is my subject I am going to tell. So computer science student joins. After first year, if he leaves means, you have to create the syllabus such a way that first year after completing, he must be able to operate a computer. He can get a job of a computer operator. So like that we have to design the syllabus. Second year, when he completes, he must be able to write a program. He must be able to write what we call a good program. Or he must be able to use some good software packages. Third year when he completes, he must be able to become a good software engineer. So like that, we have to plan, because it was the what we call thing. Because just after first year go and again come back, it is not like that. Suppose need is there. Suppose you want to leave. This was the system. Even today it is there in other countries. A student leaves at the age of 18, he comes back after 25. He says that I want to continue, the college will allow him to continue. Okay, this was the thing.
So Swami Vivekananda says, everything can be sacrificed for truth, but truth cannot be sacrificed for anything. Yes, it did happen in 2012, where a Kaumari who was 14-year-old, who was studying in 9th standard, mother was HIV positive, and we are linked with Asha Kirana Hospital, and I get a call by Dr. Swami, who heads Asha Kirana Hospital, stating that in the evening, 6:30, he says, "Are you there in the hospital?" "Yes, sir." I have a 14-year-old child. I have not seen the child, but I've sent to the scan because she had severe pain abdomen. She'll just come in another 10-15 minutes. Kindly see her. Okay, within 10 minutes, an auto comes. A child comes, very beautiful, just like Bala Tripura Sundari, I can say, very beautiful in fact. A mother who is HIV positive, single mother. Her father died because of AIDS. And one more uncle, so-called uncle, who was there. And I asked the patient to be shifted to the ward. And then what happens, I open up, I see the scan report that a child is carrying a child of 3 kg. Okay, so then all the drama started. Immediately within 15-20 minutes, she delivered. The BP was very high, wherein the baby according to me, the child was a child, a baby. She could throw a fit because her BP was 180 by 110. Again, Amma's love. Nothing happened to the elder child, and the younger child was 3 kg. The delivery was done, and Amma's big photo is there, and this uncle was there. Mother, I wanted to give, but she was very upset and she was crying, that's expected of. And ultimately, the child was given to the so-called uncle with the trembling hands. He took it. Again, I would want to quote that Amma's love within me said, something is wrong here. I made him sit in front of Amma and said, "I'm sorry if I'm hurting you, but something from within says that you are the father of this child." He said yes. He said yes, and okay, I went by 10 o'clock, all the family drama over, and the next day I call up everyone. The homework was done with all the DIGs, all the police people, and my seniors in my Chalvamba hospital, and even the senior lawyers. Everyone told me, look, this is not good. This happens in India. You can just send them off. I thought, yeah, that's better, why simply take unnecessary headaches? And we are still young. I just completed my OBGYN, and Amma being my guru in all the fields, we thought that should be okay. The second day homework, ultimately I decided nothing is to be done for this. Third day morning, I sit for meditation. Inner Amma calls out and says, how can you do this? Immediately, I come back by 8:30 to the hospital. I call up the juvenile court people. Everything is done, and Amma has arranged for it. Whenever I say I, that means to say the limited power, when the rational mind always questions. But when Amma's love comes, people just stand there. As Anand Kumar sir has rightly told, you just need to put your hand to the wheels. Everything falls down. So third day, baby is getting better, that the elder child, I don't want to name her. I would want to call her a Bala Tripura Sundari Devi also. I'm sorry. So after which, the father doesn't come. The father was a notorious political leader with 4 marriages, divorced, and all of them were only females. So why were the trembling hands there? Because he had a male child of his own. He was very happy, and I told, see, you have done a mistake, it's okay, but don't cheat her, everything, typical emotional cover-up was done 2 days before by me. But that inner Amma made me call him over the phone and said, sir, what is this? You have not got me sweets. You're so happy because you have got a male child. Here in the hospital, we have called the police and lawyers and juvenile court. Everyone are there. Child commissioner, police, everything was made ready. He comes in and he was arrested. What happens next? As usual, a political leader, so many things were put that, you will not be there, so that thing will happen, this will thing happen. But then, truth can never be sacrificed anything. He was imprisoned till 9 years. After 9 years, he is no more because he died of HIV in the jail. So what I want to tell you is, this is what Amma's love can do.
Atmanirata Amrita ji has been spearheading Ayudh, and not only Ayudh, Amma's activities out in this institution too. Swamiji, I have a big question for you. 2,000 young people come to the college every day. And yet, there's so much of Amma's love, affection, things that's actually overflowing. It's not getting into them. What do you think is the problem? It's a big research problem which you would have to, I hope you get it, what I'm saying.
Even I am also wondering.
I like that honesty because we all cannot be coconuts. You know what coconut is? The coconut tree actually grows on the banks of a river or a sea. The coconut drops into the river or the sea water say, like in Kerala, right? And the salt water doesn't get into the coconut. If it gets in, it will get spoiled. But that's the case of coconut. We are not coconuts. We want all this to get in. Satsanga, like some of the people here were mentioning, Satsanga is so important for us to allow good things to get in. So how do we crack that problem? So Swamiji gave a very simple answer. He is also trying to do research. By the way, this is a 10,000 year problem, not a 1 year problem. So the answer that comes nearest to solving it is Satsanga. Okay, that's what we are all trying to do here.
I just want to add that point.
Yeah.
Like breaking the rock.
Breaking
It
the
won't
rock.
break in first shot.
Okay.
You have to keep on beating. So, yeah, that is the only thing. You have to keep
I
on
think
trying.
he is trying to use the words, compassion. Amma's word is action in compassion or compassion action. And he used the word break the rock.
Compassionate.
So that's all violence, but he does it with all empathy and love and affection, I guess. So when you come into the institutions like this, either here in Amrita institutions or in the Ramakrishna Ashram or in Divine Life Society or in Chinmaya Mission or so many of the new institutions that are there, Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, Aisha Foundation, whatever it is, all the huge, Hinduism is like a banyan tree. In fact, 3 days back, Amma was one of the people inaugurating the World Hindu Congress in Bangkok. And what is that? It's a huge banyan tree. So many roots, so many branches. Okay. The key thing is Satsanga, we coming in with the open mind, open heart. Not to get the garbage thrown in, but to take the wisdom around. So you need to have a very permeable membrane which can separate the bad things out and keep the good things coming in, right? Don't keep an open mind. Keep a mind with the RO filter like stuff set up.
So
Why am I
just
saying
one
this?
observation.
Yeah.
Just adding, that's
Yeah.
all. It's not that it's going waste or we are not able to penetrate in them. It is half truth only. Definitely there is a change. Whoever has come to these institutions, spiritual institutions, we can see a change in the later part of their life.
Yes.
When the situation demands, they remember these values taught here and they appreciate at that time. Definitely it takes percolation, time takes it depending on each one's samskara.
Wonderful.
So it doesn't go waste. Definitely there is an effect, but it takes time. It takes time. I have met many ex-students who want to put their words here in Amrita or in Amrita Vidyalayam, remembering what they got.
Beautiful.
So same with all the institutions, spiritual institutions.
Wonderful. So on that note, let's ask Sri Ankumarji, sir, there was a situation where the Swamiji mentioned, people graduate out, then learn the true value of what they were exposed to, and then they want to put the children into the school, right? You run a home without a school. You brought the school into the home. So do you see that effect that children on their own come to your home and have fun and go, and then they write the 10th class exam and get some good marks? So what is the secret there?
I will give you an example actually. Even now there are 2 volunteers working for us. One was Hemant. He lost his father when he was quite young in a road accident. Then his mother was in Andhra Pradesh working as a peon. So we supported him, he joined us. He passed his 10th standard with 75% marks. Then he chose the diploma in engineering. Then I asked him to write CET. He passed in RVCE Bangalore. Now he is working with us in our Kaliyumane. He works from home.
Wow.
And
The money he works, so therefore work from home.
He works, company's Genpack, he is a software engineer, but he is at Kaliyumane only, working from home.
Wonderful.
One more from Infosys also, he works at home actually. 1 week he will be in Bangalore Infosys, 1 week he works for Bangalore Infosys from our home actually.
So let's ask Professor Hemant Kumar, the other Hemant here on the stage. Sir, these kinds of thoughts, how much could you try implementing as a Vice Chancellor, University of Mysore? You said that you wanted to have students who join a program. Every year they should be able to step out and do something which is practical and pragmatic so that whatever they learn, they can apply. To what extent have you succeeded? Because one of the biggest problems with our university system, not only in India, across the world, is they're all money suckers. They suck the money of the people. They give the certificate. And like Swami Ranganathanandaji, one of the veterans of Ramakrishna Mission, he was one of the presidents of the order. He used to say, education of the current day is a process by which something in the notebook of the teacher goes into the board, and from there it travels into the notebook of the students without getting into the heads of either. Okay, right? But that was about 20, 30, 40 years perhaps, but now everybody has mobile. So, sir, how do you make that thing happen where people practically grow into applying what they learn and learn only that which they want to apply?
So it is a process where the students come to us, they must have a proper background. All students, we cannot make it like this. So once they join, and they must have the real passion to learn, first level. After learning, they must have the passion to do some good service. So that is possible provided you have a good environment. Environment like in Amrita, environment in Ramakrishna Mission. So once they complete, they want to do some service. So where if you want to do all those things, first level it is one. Second level, when you are teaching, our teachers are also responsible to make them to create what we call a creativity in them. Second thing is, they must have some boldness to face the society. On my own, I can do something.
Wonderful.
So which is lacking with us. Because a student, as you told, it is not just a transformation of the knowledge from teacher's mind to student's mind through some media. So it is not transformation, there must be some motivation in teaching. First level, whatever I say to the teachers is, if you are really interested to teach, if you really have the passion to teach, then you join.
So maybe
So
I should ask our commander, passion to teach, interest to teach, you join. But when you are in the submarine, right deep inside the water, and things are not functioning, how does learning happen? Does somebody come with passion to teach and then teach you, or you kind of learn because you have to survive? What works in the submarine? Quick answer, sir.
In a light-hearted way, I will say just worship.
Worship. Worship.
No, three steps, three things which are very, very ingrained or I carry in my memory is to worship first, then work, and then accumulate a lot of wisdom. Keep your mind open. And so the steps are worship, surrender completely, and work. With that, you work the best hell out of your life, work. And then wisdom will dawn onto you at our ages here, where we are sitting. Okay, and enjoy the moment, every moment. Like today is a moment of grace of God. One day, Dr. Mohan had happened to just drop into my house, and we enjoyed a nice cup of coffee. And here I am over 3 months now.
September, August, September.
It's just the grace of God. I'm sharing my experiences. Get up from there.
By the way, those experiences are not the submarine experiences. The submarine experiences is summarized in 3 words: work, worship, and wisdom. Work, worship, wisdom. So maybe now I should take the mic from you and give it to Dr. Soumya. So while Commander Powerji faced death, Soumya ji was always having hands and death was hovering around because the patient has to be saved. Not just served, but saved. So what do you do? How do you make people learn? How do you learn when you are on the table?
Yeah, so I don't have have an answer how to make people learn because I have not learned yet. So the one who can make
That
me
is an easy cop-out answer, okay? But that's not an option. Continue.
But definitely, yes. How do I learn? I feel it's Amma who makes me learn, and each incident, Amma says, it's a guru. Each experience is a guru to you. So each and every experience, whatever happens in at least our hospital, Amrit Kripa Hospital, I believe that Amma is there teaching me literally practically. So whatever scriptures say, that is put into action in our work. And Amma is a teacher there teaching me, and definitely she is a teacher, universal teacher teaching all of us. Om
Wonderful.
Amateshwaya Namaha.
So,
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ನಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾತನಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸೂಚನೆ ಇದೆ. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ನಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾತನಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಪ್ರಥಮ ಬಾರಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊದಲ ಬಾರಿಗೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸವನ್ನು ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರವನ್ನು ಮಂಡನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರೋ ನನ್ನ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ನಿನ್ನೆ ನಾನು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಂಥ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ನ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾಳೆ. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನು ಓದ್ತೀನಿ, ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾದಷ್ಟು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ತಪ್ಪಾದರೆ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಕ್ಷಮಿಸಬೇಕು. ನಮಸ್ತೆ, ಗುಡ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ನೂನ್. ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ. ವಿವೇಕವಂಶಿ is my Facebook and other social media handle name. Vivekananda means Vivekananda's flute or instrument in other words. I have removed that name from Facebook because some people were misunderstanding that I was from Vivekananda's lineage. Society recognizes me as an orator, writer and thinker, but more than all this, I want society to recognize me as a dedicated worker. So I am devoting my energy to be a tireless worker rather than a speaker, writer or thinker. My hometown is Mandya. I have made Mysore the center of my activities for now. The reason is, same as today's topic, reaching Vivekananda ideal to the youth at large. In Mysore, where 14 lakh people live within 10 kilometers radius, is more suitable for my work than Mandya, which has a population of 2 lakh. Hence, I am focusing more in this area. I came into public life at the age of 16. As a child, I was influenced by Swadeshi activist Sri Rajiv Dikshit ji and Pujya Swami Purushottamana ji Maharaj of Sri Ramakrishna Ashram. Later, I read the lives of freedom fighters like Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad, Subhash Chandra Bose and Veer Savarkar and got influenced by it. Organizations like ABVP, RSS, Ramakrishna Ashram, Azadi Bachavo, Swadeshi Andolan, Yuva Brigade shaped my public life. By the age of 18, I was a popular radio jockey in a private FM. At 19, I had 2 government jobs in hand. At 20, had a bike and own house in Mandya city. Nothing more was required to lead a happy and settled life. But it seems that Vivekananda, who was deep inside, was not satisfied. Swamiji might have the desire to make his tool to work more. Thus, by the grace of Guru, I joined RIMSE, the B.Ed College of Ramakrishna Ashram, Mysore. Swami Vivekananda had made a huge impact. By the time I completed my master's degree in value education. From there, I directly joined Vivekananda Kendriya Vidyalaya in Arunachal Pradesh as a teacher for tribal children. Within a year, I yielded to the insistence of my parents and returned to my hometown. In return, I conditioned them to grant the freedom to live my life as I wished. From the age of 24 years to 30 years, I worked in many nationalist organizations for about 6 years. Due to the ideological differences or because of my unsuppressible own ideas, I finally left all organizations and established one independently. That is Viveka Vidya Vahini. The experience of so many years of public life, thinking and brainstorming had shown me a new path which suited my nature and which would lead to the upliftment of society. It is value education.
Right? There is this thing called pulse diagnosis or Nadi Pariksha, right? Where an Ayurvedic doctor who knows that science can check your pulse for 2 minutes and he can tell you first your body type. Apparently in Ayurveda they say that there are 3 body types. You can be a Pitta dominant person, Pitta is bile. You can be a Vata dominant person, Vata is gas. Or you can be a Kapha dominant person, Kapha is phlegm. Okay? Now that is the nature of your body. but this also influences your thoughts, how you think, okay? Not just what thoughts you have, but how you think, how you operate, and things like that, right? That is one part. The second part now this is, so the distinction between Western psychology and our this Ayurveda personality types is that Ayurveda links your body type, which is your physical body type, to your mind. Okay, so it becomes a integration of the two, right? Now I'll share some experiences with you, okay, just to, so since this is in terms of empowering youth and talking about our own practical experiences. About 3-4 years ago, I was coaching a class 12 student for 2-3 of them. 2 of them girls wanted to write medical entrance exam and things like that. I had one student who, this was COVID time, so just strictly on the phone, no video either, just audio calls, right? And one of the students was very sincere, okay? But what I would find was while teaching, I'll be teaching mathematics, in the middle of it, suddenly some thought would come to her mind about a beach which was very close to her house. Then I was wondering, this student is very sincere, okay? And she's listening to what I'm teaching, but this is happening. I thought about it a little bit, then I told her mother, take her to an Ayurvedic doctor and get her body type checked out, okay? They did that, and it turned out she was a Vata body type. Vata is gas is dominant, okay? And what Ayurveda says is that if gas is dominant, the person's ability to concentrate is much less. The mind keeps hopping around a lot, okay? Then I checked out a little bit about what food she eats, okay? And I found, then I did a bit of research on the web, and the doctor also told her what to eat and all that. We corrected that. I told her what to eat. She followed, because she cooks her own, she's also good at cooking, I suppose. And there was dramatic improvement in her concentration abilities, okay? So you can use, so this is a way by which people can utilize the knowledge of their body types and their personality types to improve their performance, whether it is in studies or whether it's in other things, right? So this is a real example that I'm giving you, right? The next important thing here is by changing the student's food, right? Her mind, the workings of her mind changed. She was able to concentrate better. So what that tells us is food controls your, I mean, we all know that, but this is a practical example where food controls your mind, right? Another dimension to this is if you look at the Bhagavad Gita classifies food into Sattvic, Rajasic and Tamasic, right? I suppose Professor Yashwanath talked about that earlier, right? So if people become aware of that, right, then if you're a student, you want to eat Sattvic food. If you're a soldier, maybe you want to eat Rajasic food, whatever. But you can use that knowledge to improve your mental performance, right? In whatever you are doing, right? This also talks about the eating of junk food and all that. So students and whoever eats a lot of food outside should realize that food is a way of controlling your mind. So the more you go out and eat food which may not be sattvic or rajasic, whatever it is, you are letting people control your mind, okay? And you can, the other thing is, you should also do simple experiments with this yourself, okay? So for example, there are some results which say that if eating a lot of onion and garlic tends to scatter the mind, okay? Now that may be okay for people who are past the student age, but for students it may not be. So very simple thing to try is either stop eating garlic for a few days, onion and garlic for a few days and see what happens to your mind, or eat a lot and see what happens to your mind, right? So be active and experiment rather than just taking knowledge from reading from a book and memorizing and writing it out. That's all, right? You do be practical about it.
When we ventured into rural areas, we were trying to unlearn everything that we learned in urban areas. So I'm reminded of Swamiji's famous thought: bring light to the poor and bring more light to the rich, for they require more than the poor. Bring light to the ignorant and more light to the educated, for the vanities of the education of our time are tremendous. What are the important issues that actually catalyzes our thought processes today in the system? Basically, the first thing that happens to us is know-all attitude and standing on a pedestal and throwing everything on them and looking down upon every other person just because they can't speak a fluent English at any given point of time. Did Swamiji accept this? So we need to realize what exactly was happening. So when we all went into the rural areas, that was in the year 1987, we went there. And when we went there, we thought that we were going to be garlanded and welcomed. We are all medical doctors and we had nothing else other than medical knowledge. And all that we knew was to prescribe pills and excise lumps. Nothing else we knew. Because the first day in the medicine, we only get into seeing the cadaver. The second period, we start looking at frogs. We never look at human beings in their life initially. And then we get to become so technologists and technocrat that we start forgetting about all the sociology, the demography, the economic, the empathy. All those things are well spoken of, but very few would be able to absorb it because nothing is actually transacted. So we entered there. So we thought that we could, in fact, I still remember my own story of getting into a mobile vehicle way back in 1988, driving down into this one and expecting that I would see 40 patients over there. And when I go into the mobile unit, you know that it is a sparsely, I would say, populated area. Though it is the largest taluk, the maximum forested area of Mysore district, maybe in Karnataka also. So if you're looking at that, I go there, I stop the vehicle, and I find nobody. And I have a driver. And I have to go back to and tell my friends that I saw 40 patients. Okay? And all of them were eagerly waiting for me. Okay? But what is there? Nobody. But my ego did not permit me to stay quiet. I said, just horn, sound the horn. Because I thought, because they didn't hear the sound of my vehicle, so maybe they will hear by sound of the horn. Nobody came. Then, by that time, both the heat of the summer as well as my heat of the internal ego also had triggered, and I had already started perspiring. So, but I had to do something. I got down and I started walking up. I saw the first hut. I suddenly saw it was locked. What was the lock? There was a latch and one bamboo stick was there. So I said, wow, nobody's there. So next, same state. By the fourth house, I suddenly had some relief because there was no bamboo stick on it. So that means somebody is inside there. So I slowly pushed it. The moment I pushed it, a frail voice, an old woman spoke. She said, who is that? She asked in Kannada. Yarappa. And they said, I asked her, Aji, what has happened? How are you? No, then she said, I had difficulty in breathing. I'm sleeping here only. So I got inside. I thought I got one patient at least now. So then I asked, where are the others? So the response that came from was very simple. She said, they all were fit enough to work. I don't say they were all fit, but they were fit enough to work. As long as they're able to work, they carry on with their life. Only when I'm incapacitated to the level that I can't even get up and go, that is the time I would seek a Medicare. Now that you have come, first have a cup of tea. I said, what tea? No. I was already perspiring. Then she said, can I give you some water? Suddenly I started realizing experiencing a different feeling. I thought I was going there to serve them, but I seem to have got served all the time. And she, in her own ailment, with such sort of distress, was ready to offer me tea, ready to offer me nectar. So, this is the vanities that we learn in education, and that is the experience that we go through, and the life tempers it as we move forward.
Very interesting question. This was put to Swami Vivekananda by one of his disciples, Ajit Singh Raja of K3, during his wandering days. The question is very interesting. What is life? We are living the life, but we don't have the understanding of what is life. Swami Vivekananda gave a very succinct reply, very penetrating reply. He said, life is the unfoldment and development of a being under circumstances trying to press it down. Isn't it? So, little bit elaborating on that, life is a challenge. Isn't it? Life is a challenge. So, what we want to become in life depends largely upon our personal and individual acceptance of the challenge. There is no limit for a human being as to what he has to become. then you may think, is it that? What about the circumstances in life? One of our ancient scriptures says that Kritam loke purusho abhijayate. A man is born in the world of his own making. Not only is born of his own making, he also remakes it every time, because what we think and what we do remakes our circumstances. We are able to change our circumstances. So we are the makers and the unmakers of our own destiny, isn't it? So circumstances can be changed. Now, what we are going to become in life depends largely on the strength what we have individually speaking. So the stronger we are, the more we will be able to rest out of life. So the secret is the strength we have. Swami Vivekananda, and my reflection is upon this Vedantic secrets is the strength. And Swami Vivekananda and Vedanta also speak the same language. The central message of Swami Vivekananda's Vedantic message is strength. Strength is life, weakness is death. According to Swami Vivekananda, coming to Vedanta does not mean to wail and weep, to fear about the natural force, to fear about the forces against us, but it is to manifest the inherent strength, the inherent might we have to face any situations of life. Now let me paraphrase some of the Swamiji's quotations on Vedanta. They are very illuminating. Swami Vivekananda says, if there is one word in the Upanishads that comes in every page and which comes like a bomb and throws a bombshell, that one word is what is called as abhihi, fearlessness, strength. According to Swami Vivekananda, it is weakness that is cause of all the miseries of the world. We lie, we do crimes, we steal, everything we do with unholy things, because Swami Vivekananda says we are weak. It's the same idea of Vedantic. It's a Vedantic idea. So the one, as I said, if you want to summarize the teachings of Swami Vivekananda's Vedantic idea is what is called as strength in ourselves. According to Swami Vivekananda, a very often quoted quotation is, strength is life, weakness is death. Strength is life, weakness is death. Strength is felicity, weakness is misery. So according to Swami Vivekananda, weakness is a constant strain and misery. Now, this is about Upanishad. Now, coming to another Vedantic scripture, broadly speaking, it also comes from Vedantic scripture, and many of you know that. It is Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, there is an opening verse, the second chapter, which speaks about the strength, and Swami Vivekananda liked that verse very much. The verse goes like, Klaibhyam masma ghama partha naitatva ipapadyate kshudram hridaya dhaurbalyam tyaktvodishta parantapa. So this is a verse, and this is a verse occurring on the battlefield. Arjuna has come into the battlefront. He sees the Kauravas, he sees his own relationships. Suddenly he was overtaken by emotions overwhelms him, sentiments overwhelms him. His intellect gets clouded, and he speaks pseudo-philosophy, and he says, renunciation is better than fighting against my own kith and kins. But this has not come out of his true knowledge. Weakness has grabbed him. Sri Krishna understood that, and he says, Klaibhyam ma smag ghama partha, O Partha, O Arjuna, do not become a prey. Do not become a prey to Klaibhyam. Klaibhyam means chicken-hearted. Swami Vivekananda says, faint-heartedness. Klaibhyam mas ghama partha, na etat tvayi upapadyate. It does not befit you, he says. You are a noble, great warrior. This type of weakness coming at this point of time does not befit you. And this is a beautiful educational maximum for the teachers, the students, and for everyone, because every one of us has got infinite good qualities in us. It is if you are manifesting bad qualities, it is below our dignity. So we are responsible to manifest the good qualities. That is why he says it does not befit you. Then he says, Shudram hridaya dhaurbalyam, because that mean-heartedness of afraid of everything, tyaktva and uttishta bharata, climb, get up and fight. That is what Sri Krishna said to Arjuna. Now, Swami Vivekananda says, we have wept long enough, no more weeping, but stand up on your feet and be men. Same idea. So what Sri Krishna said, Swami Vivekananda says the same thing.
It was said that those who live for others are really living. others are more dead than alive. These words of Swami Vivekananda, arise, awake, stop not till the goal is reached. There's something like an electric current. It went into me. I don't know what happened. And forget the God for next 50 years. Let Mother India be your God. Poor, ignorant, wicked be your God. So what is this? The word has a power. When I'm telling it now, don't you see these are the words of Swami Vivekananda? When these words uttered by me is just still giving you a kind of thing, think about Swami Vivekananda when he said, brothers and sisters of America. How much of power it had. Friends, that I should do something. Having heard about Swami Vivekananda in the Rock Memorial, and then I started reading about this Swami Vivekananda. I was 19 years old. The devil that has entered me has caught me. And that spark of ignition has become the flame of inspiration. I'm young. Went back to Tirupati with few others. We started a Vivekananda Yuva Kendra. An opportunity dawned to us that there was a flood at that time in Godavari. We collected money, first time as an young, innocent students. Because we first time I tasted the power of student power. When we go to a hostel and say the words of Swami Vivekananda, people used to get inspired. People used to become energized. And this, we went, all the people we collected at that time, 5,000 is a very big amount. We collected 5,000 and went straight, the youth power. Went straight to Godavari floods. Then distributed. Because we took the help of RSS and we took the help of Ramakrishna Seva Samiti Vijayawada. And we went there and we distributed all the vegetables and all the others. We are also early people to reach there. That gave the satisfaction. Working for others. When others are requiring some kind of help from you. There we met a person who is 101 years old and he saw Swami Vivekananda. So we interacted with him. And that was a beautiful turning point. And from there, we were doing so many youth activities. But what happened? We are young. We have been exploited by the political forces. We have been divided. 100 plus youth. We were divided virtually. We wanted to do good, but we received blows. This is my experience, dear faculty members. I'm sharing with you. Then something different should be done. That then Swami Vivekananda just went into me. This spirit to know myself, to know about all these things has happened because of my Sanatana Dharma's introduction is because of Swami Vivekananda. Then I was pushed by this man, the devil, into the fire of renunciation, the fire of compassion. Mata Amrutanandamayi Devi.
Actionizing Vedanta, Vivekananda's call to the youth. So we start with this big question. And the question obviously, Vedanta and secrets of Vedanta, I should remember, was talked to us by Swami Ishtanathanandaji Maharaj. So the first question, brief question goes to Swamiji. Maharaj, call to the youth. So he addressed the youth, and the youth were filled with so much of ignorance. And he was talking about actionizing Vedanta. So I think our Chandrasekharji was starting, the nature of Adhyatma is intrinsically it pulls you down. Actually, you have to pull yourself up again and again. If that is what the call to the youth was at that time, how different is it now? More so in the world of social media, more so in the world where human beings don't get time to think. they are bombarded with stimulations of the senses, and they think they are still young when they are already tottering 1 feet away from the grave. So, Vivekananda gave a call to the youth at that time. I like it because he is representing what students are like. Simple. What is the question? So, and I like that honesty which he says, so what is the question? Vivekananda gave a call to the youth then. But then the youth had the time to think, to reflect, etc. Now the youth are lost. Okay? How do you think we can solve that problem? Communicating, actionizing Vivekananda, actionizing Vedanta to the youth today. Let me add a little more. Maybe this will help. I think Chandrasekhar ji had said that he went through a B.Ed course. Am I right? Who did the B.Ed course? Oh, you did the B.Ed course. Okay. Nityananda ji did the B.Ed course. Right? In Rimse. Nityananda did the B.Ed course in Rimse at that point of time when Rimse was actually meant for B.Ed course. But where is B.Ed course now? It's gone. No more being offered. Do you know why? There's no dearth of real teachers who are interested in coming around and wanting to study B.Ed. And like I think Dr. Balsamani was saying, some places have so many B.Eds, and that's because there's no compulsory attendance. Right? So something is really amiss. Given that situation, how do we communicate the call of Vivekananda to the youth to actionize Vedanta? I hope you have understood the question. I am struggling with that. Not the question, answer. Swamiji, the question is, youth today are very different from the youth at the time of Vivekananda. He gave a rousing call at that time. If you want to translate that to contemporary times, especially the youth immersed in social media, etc., how can we successfully do it?
Youths are not useless, they are useless. I think it is something to do with the elders.
Okay.
We have to engage them in this type of seminars. Awareness has not been there. And if I am a youth at this point of time, I also would not be different than those people. So,
Okay.
since we are born some years back and we did not have much distractions, all these things, we had the desire inside, but it did not get manifest because we did not have all those things. But even now we can see people like Nityananda, we have one Prapanjan, all these people are there. What we see is only the negative things that falls in our eyes, but there are many positive things happening around the world. And I think at every point of time, you cannot have the whole bunch of people arousing. There would have been people there at that time also, because I heard Swami Ranganathanji speaking from 30 years back, the society is like that, and even now society is like that. So,
okay.
If everything is okay, then what is there to rouse?
Agreed. So that's a very good question, counter question. So what is there to rouse? So maybe I should ask Chandrasekhar ji. Sir, you had mentioned that Vivekananda aroused the people. You went to the rock, you saw the energy there. Of course, you went with a certain not so great purpose, but then transformed you. You set yourself to a higher purpose, and which is what brought you to Amma, and now it's energizing you even more. Right? So there was some, what do you call, I do not know, some shake-up, something happened. Now, here are the teachers, and they're all kind of waiting to communicate the message across. They don't know how to get the students to be shaken up. So what is the message that you can give to the teachers that shake-up moment should be achieved? How to do that?
First, let me answer in 1 or 2 sentences about the Vedanta part, and then I'll come to the second question. Vedanta part, I'll tell you one incident that happened. Almost Amma has recorded my 45 bhajans which I wrote in Telugu. Out of that, 50% are Vedantic songs only. So it's high-fly Vedanta. One day, Amma told me, your Vedanta is in the head. You have to bring it to your heart. How do you bring it? She gave an example. When somebody gives me a pen, Amma bows down and worships it as God. When Amma she has said these virtual words to me personally. I'm just repeating. When you climb states, each step, you think that it is God. When somebody gives you something, do it. You see Amma, before she comes to the stage, she bows down. You have observed this?
Yes.
Bows down to the people. She says, my children are my God. That feeling should not be a Hippocratic feeling, an intellectual feeling. Then the Vedanta, because she always says, if you write honey and try to lick it, you will not get it. Vedanta has to be experienced. So she says, best methodology in the current times is Karma Yoga. This is Niswartha Seva. So she says that, and Bhakti. So this is what both things will really make you to be in Vedanta. This is Amma's version practically given to me. I'm just sharing.
The point is to be able to get chiseled. We have to get chiseled. More importantly, like he says, and Amma said, you can't write honey on a piece of paper and lick it and say that you have experienced it, right? So I will take this question to Swami Mahamedanji Maharaj. Maharaj, a lot of the intellectualizing has happened on Vedanta, and actually Vedanta is all about only experientiality, right? So people have given a bad name to Vedanta of kind of saying that, Amma, I wrote a note on honey on paper and I tried tasting it not. And I think Sri Ramakrishna also says that you can't squeeze an almanac and the water drops don't come as rain, right? So this intellectualizing of Vedanta and kind of getting a bad name for it, when actually Vedanta is all about experientiality, right? Self-realization. So doing that and giving that as the call to the youth to help them unfold their layers that he was talking about. How do you think we should do it in the contemporary situation? Because all these teachers are all there here, who are all having so many class loads of 60, 70 people sitting in your class. And I think as a teacher, you have a huge responsibility to help them manifest the unmanifest possibilities inside them. Is it not? So, Swamiji, how do these people apply that Vedanta as the experientiality versus the bad name it has got as an intellectualizing exercise?
The bad name it has is given by ignorant people. Those who know don't give it a bad name. And those who engage superficially, they will certainly have less meaning from that. But the point I would like to make is, Swami Vivekananda makes this statement. Every moment we are influencing each other. You are influencing him, he is influencing you. And in this influence, only 1/3 is created by your dress, by your language, by your style, by your choice of words. Only 1/3 of the influence is created by all this. And we spend so much time on this, dressing ourselves up and picking up all this tosh-posh English and throwing the words to show that I am very knowledgeable. Swamiji says only 1/3 of that influence which you create on people is you. This is what comes from it. 2/3 of the influence is created by what you are inside. ನೀವು ಒಳಗೆ ಏನಾಗಿದೆಯೋ ಅದೇ 2/3 ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೂಯೆನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. And that what you are inside, Swamiji calls it personal magnetism. So if this teacher has to awaken, a teacher is supposed to be a lamp lighter. Now if you have to light a lamp, first you should have a light inside. There is a statement, when I find teachers complain and parents complain, 100 times I have told you, then immediately I tell them, if you have used this phrase, anyone here who has used this, how many times I have told you? With your children or with your students? You have used it?
Common
how many
language,
times I have told you? In Kannada we say, 100 sati helidini. We may not have told, but we say, 100 times I have told. So whenever we repeat that sentence, if you are going to repeat, please remember these words of Emerson. Emerson was a transcendentalist, American transcendentalist, poet and essayist. He says, what you are is speaking so loud, I can't hear you. What you are is speaking so loud, I can't hear you. Your character is speaking something and your words are something else. So if a teacher comes and tells, do this, do that, the student sees the character. So when there is no character force behind those words, there is no communication, transformative communication happening, and there will be no change in the students.
Are necessary for the world. But only thing is, it has to be balanced. This is what my learning over a period of the, I was contemplating on this question. Why great Mahatmas come, but still the world is again like a dog's tail. It is becoming again the same thing. So as he said, we have to accept the deviations. We have to accept that three kinds of people do exist. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas in your class. So when you are teaching in one voice, but Sattvic people take it in a different way, Rajasic people take it in a different way, Tamasic people take it in a different way. But as Swamiji said, if we do it as a worship, then it will be definitely helping you to evolve, not the world. This is what Amma says. Because you are teaching cultural education, she again said to me, don't think you are going to change the people. It is you are changing. So that attitude you develop. That's what Amma told me personally. So we should, even Swami Vivekananda said, renunciation and service. Intensify India and those two channels, the rest will take care of itself. What is that renunciation? Renunciation of I. And do seva. Amma says, don't teach Vedanta to the students. Because I used to have that inclination to teach Vedanta to a student. You are that, this thing in a scientific way, bringing all that. But Amma says, take them to village. Show them the sacrifice. Show them the compassion. Let their potential energies come out. Let them do seva first. Once the seva comes, they will understand Vedanta. This is what Amma has said even in the speech that she has spoken on Swami Vivekananda's strength and vitality. She has said this. So this is what this Sattva, Rajas, Tamas are going to be there. We have to see that because even any avatara comes, this is going to be there. It is only for a time period. This is my understanding. If I am wrong, please Swamiji should pardon me.
I just wanted to add what he said and what he gave that. It is, Swamiji says, this world is a dog's tail. You try to straighten it, it will again curl again. But he says, in trying to straighten it, you straighten yourself out. That's what is going to happen finally.
Wonderful.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Sriram. Oh.
Same point Amma told. When you are in the process of straightening the dog's tail, actually you are building the muscles. It is never going to happen, but you are just the same
Yes.
idea.
Yes.
Amma used in different words,
Yes.
that's all.
Yes.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
But we should try to straighten it without ego, as he said. Teacher should never make an ego issue with students. If he makes an ego issue with students, he will become bigger curl tail, the teacher. So he will forget straightening others. He needs to be straightened.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I may add
Only one word.
Yeah, one or two. So we have all seen mothers running around kids trying to spoon feed them or force feed them, and not as a spoon goes in, right? So knowledge is also like that. I think the knowledge has to be absorbed by the student. The teacher cannot force feed knowledge, okay? And the teacher, one of the jobs of the teacher is to make the student hungry for knowledge, okay?
All right. So having Swamiji say that, Chandrasekharji say that, or Atma Nirata Amrita Chaitanya ji say that, I also want to say that. If you go outside, you say Sandys, right? Vivekananda Janoththana Trust. Do you know what the motto is? Self-development through Janoththana Seva. We go, we do all these kinds of things. What we get is, we get little chiseled inside, we get polished up inside. That's self-development. That's the motto of our organization too. Okay, self-development through Janoththana Seva. You can see the standee outside, it's standing there telling that in so many words. So I'm very happy to hear that. But then I want to do an experiment, The point is, innately there is this knowledge and the strength within. That's what Swami Vivekananda says about every human being. We are all living in this anglicized world, which is not truly natural to us, right? And the national education policy says about teaching in the mother tongue, okay? And if you closely observe, you have one speaker here who has been very successful, which many of the other speakers may not have succeeded to that extent, primarily because Nityananda Vivekamshi talks that language of the people who are receiving it, right? And he is able to arouse it. 70,000 people have taken our exam and we have succeeded in doing it with not small number, okay? And it takes a lot of Swamijis from the Ramakrishna Mission to the people around, right? So the question I want to do, the experiment I want to do is, sir, please answer the question in English now.
No.
Would you be able to touch the hearts of the same students were you to talk in English like all of us? Or should you only talk in Kannada to them?
Only in Kannada, sir.
Only in Kannada. He answered it in English. We are all half-baked, right? So he put the idea in English. Anyway, we'll now take that same question to our Dr. Balasubramania, who also worked with the tribals. Okay, so as doctors, young doctors, 17 to 19 years, like he was putting it, he was part of that Swami Vivekananda youth movement. They went to the tribal areas, tried to talk their language and put their ideas to them. So you learned from them a lot of interesting things. Did they teach you in their language? Did they teach you in your language?
See, for me, when I say words communicate only 7% as per research also. 93% of the communication happens by our...
Beautiful.
So in
there
that
are two
context,
things here.
yeah.
Two things come out. Let me elaborate. Very few words, he has packed a punch of wisdom in that. 93%, 7%, right? So the point which he says is, you go talk, no effect. You conduct yourself in certain ways, and of course, inside of you should have changed, that you go there, things change. Right? Now, if you do the same thing out with your students, that's one of the reasons why I think, like the university rankings, the researchers teach. The teachers don't teach. There's teaching hospitals and there are research hospitals. The research hospitals teach better because the researchers have slogged it out to get new results and then they communicate it to the student picks up that. That's why the student succeeds, I guess. The teachers who are trained to teach without understanding what they teach don't succeed in teaching.
I just had one comment. Basically, it is not just the communication, it is the tool for communication that you use is extremely important. Okay. I think our ancestors have actually solved that puzzle for us. There are certain input level elements, which is like a formula, which you have to be told and you memorize it. But when it comes to a lot of these value systems there, it has to be reflected. That's why you have Panchatantra tales, Jataka tales and other things. There are only storytelling sessions because the story takes the person into that life and that experience that they get during that dramatics that run makes them start reflecting on themselves. So we need to choose the transaction methodology depending on what is the purpose and what is the person and what is the content that you want to transact. Then things will have this one. So if it is like explaining an experiment, which makes no sense.
Exactly. Experiments have to be experienced. You don't explain it.
Yes.
Very good. Dr. Sriram.
I just add one practical experience that I had. About 3 years ago, I was teaching a couple of class 12 students for medical entrance exam. And I told them, look, I don't know English, so I'm going to teach you in Kannada. They were English medium students, but I'll use English technical terms, okay? And one of the girls was only speaking in, she said, I'll never speak in Kannada, though she's in Karnataka somewhere, and all that. And I said, no, this is what I know, I'll teach you, okay? And what happened was, actually their thinking skills got triggered. Their thinking was dormant, because in English is a foreign language, they're not thinking, they're just mugging up sentences.
Yes, exactly.
So it really helped. I used technical terms purely in English. But all the teaching was in Kannada and made them to answer me in Kannada also. Exam, they'll answer in English.
Beautiful. Experiments have to be experienced. They cannot be explained. So the last word, we'll give it to Swami Ishtanathananda Ji Maharaj. Because he will be sharing with us a summary of these 2 lines. And I'll just start the phrase. Maunam Vyakya Prakritita Parabrahma Dakshinamurti Sostram. So could you please explain to us? It's an experiment that has to be experimented and not explained, but I'm requesting you to explain that.
In the sadhana, in the path of Jnana Yoga, we have a disciplines called Shravanam, Mananam and Nitidhyasanam. Here this Dakshinamurti sloka says, the Guru is there, is keeping silent. The Sishyas are there, they are understanding the silence. But if you see the classical Vedanta, they say, the knowledge has to come first in tuition rather than in intuition.
Do you hear that? Intuition rather than intuition.
That is how the Guru Shishya Samvada, Guru Shishya Parampara.
1,000 years of slavery has made us bootlickers. And a slave will always try to curry favor with the master. In Bengali, they call it Tel Deva, oil massage. I have to climb up, massage the higher authority, and make sure the other fellow goes down, you go up. He says this is natural for slaves. And this is not, I don't see this in America. So we have to develop this power called organization. So when he came back to India, he started this Ramakrishna Mutt mission. He knew there will be dangers. He said, if I don't organize, ideas will not spread. If I organize, intensity will go down. But for the good of the masses, let me organize. And that's how he started Ramakrishna Mutt mission. Today we have over 230 centers in India, 67 centers abroad, 1,600 sannyasis and brahmacharis, trying to work out, according to our own capacities, Swamiji's and Sri Ramakrishna and Holy Mother's message. Today, coming to the modern day, modern India, we have science, we have technology. We are matching the world anywhere. Russia could not send their spacecraft. We landed our spacecraft. Science, technology, we don't have any lack of it. Anyone can acquire and develop his skills in science and technology. What we lack now is Vedanta. Unfortunately, from the day we got independence, the so-called secularism made us think that to talk about values is not secular. How do you talk about values without referring to some personality, referring to some understanding, what we have derived from our ancestors for thousands of years? In the name of secularism, everything is erased. Moral science classes, no. You should teach your religion, you should teach my religion. But Sanatana Dharma is not a religion which says only I am correct, you are all wrong. Sanatana Dharma is that religion which says, Sri Ramakrishna, as he put it, Jatomot Tatopot, as many faiths, so many paths. Which the Upanishad says, truth is one, wise people speak of it in different names. And this is the religion which says, I have to go beyond the Vedas. Scriptures are not final for us. Scriptures are only roadmaps. And the roadmap cannot be held as sacrosanct. The roadmap is only to help me to go forward. And that is not everything in itself. It is not an end in itself. The end is me with my realization, my experience. So at this Viveka Smaraka, we propose to have broadly three kinds of training, which we want to impart to the youth. It will be Swami Vivekananda Cultural Youth Center, focusing on the youth. First is the life skills, second, vocational skills, and third, our cultural knowledge, our heritage. Because Swamiji says civilization is only skin deep. It is culture which makes us human beings. As you probably know, we are all human beings, at least to see, but everyone is not a human being. We can live when we function, in fact, at three levels. We function at three levels. Swami Vivekananda has a definition of man, which I keep sharing with all the students I meet. Man is a compound of animality, humanity, and divinity. Man is a compound of animality, humanity, and divinity. ಮದುವೆ ಜಾತಕ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಗಣಗಳು ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಜಾತಕ ನೋಡಿ ಮದುವೆ ಆದವ್ರೆ, ಈಗಿನ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ನೋಡಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಗಣ ನೋಡಿದ್ದು ರಾಕ್ಷಸ ಗಣ, ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಗಣ, ದೇವಗಣ. So many people in society live at this animal level. Animal level existence means I am led and bound by the body and the senses. And someone who wants to rise to the human level, he continuously struggles against this body and senses which tries to tie him down. And that climbing up can be done only when the mind awakens to higher thoughts, higher ideals, as Sri Ramakrishna says. That's why Swami Vivekananda would insist, have higher thoughts, have higher ideals. And he says, if a man with an ideal makes 1,000 mistakes, I am sure a man without an ideal will make 50,000 mistakes. Therefore, have an ideal in life, Adarsha.
That which we thought may or may not happen. Just about 10 days back or 12, I don't know what. One Saturday evening, I think Saturday or which day, I don't know, Shekhar Babu told me, yes, our director has accepted the proposal. Right? Then only I seriously started working on it. And getting 80% of the speakers on board was easy. The last 3-4 speakers, I hunted about 40 people. And it was all like back and forth, right? And finally, 3 days before, in the night, or 3 days before, or 2 days, 2.5 days before, on afternoon, our brahmachari Atma Viratamrita Chaitanya ji confirmed that Chandrasekhar ji would be coming in from Tirupati and he will speak. Okay, and we dropped off one speaker and we said 13 is good number, but from Mahamedanji Maharaj will give this special valedictory keynote. So he's not really counted as a speaker. So only the 12. Okay, with that we will start. So early in the morning, around 2 o'clock, I blasted the program schedule to everybody. And of course, it was finally, meaning any problems, any questions, any doubts, please say. And including the spelling of our Atma Virata Amrita Chaitanya ji, I could get it right because it was in Kannada and in English they always make it small. Not 8. I don't want to call you all that, Maharaj. I would like to call you with the full name. And I think this, if you think it's a tongue twister, we have to learn it. Maybe you should repeat it after me. Atma Viratamrita Chaitanya. Okay? Atma Viratamrita Chaitanya ji. So, it all happened in a matter of 2 days. In fact, this registration was kind of a default. We sent it out, and a lot of people who could sign up at the last moment signed in and came in. Some of the people from outside had come from Bangalore too. So it was so nice. We have come at the end of this day. So magic happens. Once more I would like to share. Magic happens. You're all part of the game. I did nothing. Right? So Naham Karta, Naham Karayita. There's a beautiful shloka that comes as part of our Sandhya Vandana. Right? Naham Karta, Naham Karayita. Kamo Karshit, Manyura Karshit, Namo Namaha. Naham Karta, Naham Karayita. Neither do I do, nor am I the influencer to make it do. It's all Kamo Karshit, Manyura Karshit, that we do a japa on an annual basis, right? It is with great thanks that I'd like to first extend a very warm pranams and thanks to Pujya Swami, Srimad Swami, Atmavidanji Maharaj, who graciously and readily agreed to this proposition that he should come and inaugurate. And before that, I should like to thank two Swamijis, Swami Muktidanji Maharaj, who is the Adhyaksha of the Mysore Ashrama here and member of the Board of Trustees of the Ramakrishna Matan Mission, as well as Swami Satyapriyanji Maharaj, who is a retired monk, a very intellectual, very solid, very serious, very down-to-earth, and very, he is very humorous as well, and he could be hard-hitting as well, and he influenced this program in a very big way. And I'd like to thank both of them, and apart from them, I'd like to thank Swami Nityastanji Maharaj, who is the Adhyaksha of Bangalore Basudi Ashram, and the Swamijis who have accepted to come here, Puja Swami, Mahamedaji Maharaj, and Swami Ishtanathanji Maharaj. They readily agreed in the last moments and gave a wonderful time sharing their wisdom with all of us, and we're all students here. Okay, we may have a profession called teacher, but in reality, we are all students, we learn. Apart from them, we also like to extend a big thanks to all the speakers, Professor Yashwanath, Professor Hemant Kumar ji, right? After that, Sri Anant Kumar ji, who came from Kalyuvamane. Let me kind of check out whether I'm getting all the names. And then, of course, Dr. Amrita Kripa Hospital, Dr. Soumya, okay? And then Commander Shahji Power, who came with me from Bangalore for this event, and he was gracious to be part of the panel. And Dr. Sriram Vajpayam, Dr. Balasubramanya, Nityananda, Vivekamshi, and of course, I would like to share that today morning I got a call from Professor Chandrasekhara, who is a former professor of philosophy at University of Mysore. He fell sick today morning and he expressed his inability to come. We really hope and pray that he is recovering fast and he is well soon. So on that note, I'll also thank Amrita Institution for the big help that they did, both in terms of helping run the program and hopefully benefiting from it, right? You people are the beneficiaries of it. So I'd like to request Dr. Shekhar Babu to come and formally thank all the volunteers who worked for this program. Okay, there was the catering, you had good sattvic food, right? And kashaya as well. You had the camera people who did a fantastic job. You had the registration counter people who did an even more fantastic job. And then the transport part, I don't want to name who did it. That honors is with Dr. Shekhar Babu.
Om Amriteshwari Namaha. We come to the conclusion of a one-day workshop, the 6th workshop, where first time Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham Mysore campus, in collaboration with Vivekananda Janoththana Trust, Dr. Mohan, we were able to organize and deliver a workshop which is primarily focused on faculty and staff. The concept was mainly to see if we could inculcate those ideals from powerful speakers from morning to evening, which you have been part of. Extremely thankful each and every faculty and staff who are here at close to 7 p.m. You are all here starting from 8:45 in the morning. Many of them started at 8 in the morning. So big round of applause to you all. Thank you very much. Shashtang pranams to you all, because you had a choice. In spite of being mandatory, you had a choice, and I can see pretty much the hall being full here. Thanks to Swami Mahamedanandaji for taking the time and being here. Pranams Swami Ishtanandarji for taking the time and being here. Thank you, Swami. Very big thanks and to Brahmachari Anantanandji, who is our campus director, who graciously, immediately, he was not even physically here when the concept, we were discussing this concept in one of the dining halls during CCEM conference. When he told, I felt it will add value. Anything we do here in Amrita, we should add value to faculty or students or staff. So when he told that, and when I told him, he accepted it on the phone. So I thank our campus director, Brahmachari Anantanandji. Brahmachari Muktinandji, our correspondent. Swami, thank you very much. He has been a big support for a lot of the execution activities that happen for any program of any size. Without his support, help, and making sure that we conclude to a perfect execution, Swami has been a big support. Thank you, Swami. Brahmachari Atmanirdaranji, Swami, thank you for being here today. It was always awe-inspiring to listen to your talks, and even today, it was so wonderful to hear you directly. Big round of applause for Swami. Brahmachari Chandrasekhar ji flew in, as you heard, he flew in from Amravati and Tirupati, and he is a phenomenal speaker. You heard him speak today. So he's not well, so he is actually not at his 100%. So imagine if he was at his 100% best, he would have been roaring more. So thank you for Brahmachari Chandrasekhar ji. Thanks to our principal, Dr. Ravindranath ji. The first thing when the concept came, I first requested Principal Sir, and he immediately said, I know exams are going on, I know faculty and staff, everybody is busy doing the exams, but in spite of that, let's figure a way out. And that was the openness. Immediately he got our Vinayak Hegde, Deputy Controller, got Dr. Rekha, program made. Within an hour, as we were eating, the dates came out. So that is the speed at which, as we all say, if you have a good intent, as Amma says, if you have a good intent, if you want to do a good thing, things will start to come in place. So thanks, sir. Thanks. Thanks to our principal. Department of Languages and Amrita Darshanam, the department which hosted this program. This is the department which hosted this program, Department of Amrita Darshanam and Languages. Dr. Rekha, the head of the department, thank you very much for the support. Dr. Vigneshwar Bhatt, and Dr. Vigneshwar is not here today. He is doing another program with a delegation that has come from Norway. That's why he couldn't be here, but till 24th, he was fully involved. Dr. Shrikant Parida, big round of applause from the Department of Amrita Darshanam Languages to hold this program to make sure that it's delivered. Core committee, Dr. Rekha Bhatt, Dr. Vigneshwar Bhatt, Dr. Shrikant Parida, Dr. Manohar, Dr. Advaitya, Dr. Priya Govindarajan, Dr. Maulya, Akhil, Darshan, Pallavi MS, Narendran, Harshit, Mukta Sen, Meria, Pushpa, Akhil, Santosh Kumar, Bipin Nair, Suraj, Ravi Kiran from ICTS, and Suraj from ICTS, Vinod, Hospitality, Manohar, Sudarshan, Ramya, Sunij, Varun, Darshan and Sri Gauri from media coverage, and Vijay from banners and certificate. Thanks to you all. Without your support, this would not have happened. It's very easy to come, register and come here and sit, but the ground support and the back support is what makes a program successful. My Shashtang pranams to each one of you to make this program a grand success. Namaskar.
So we are officially coming to the end. Is there some glue sticking in your seats that you're not able to seats? All right. So I'm very, very happy, and I would like to do a small chant to close the program. It's a chant to do the arpanam to Bhagavan Sri Krishna, right? So join me in this 1 minute chant. Okay. Priyatam Pundari Kakshah Sarva Yagneshwaro Hari Tasmin Dushte Jagat Dushtam Prenite Prenitam Jagat Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishnaarpanamastu. Thank you. Dhanyawadaha. Bharat Mata ki Jai.